All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Beckley Wrestling Show. Today we got a special guest, man, one that I've watched for years, one I'm real excited about, two-time All-American. He was freshman of the year. We got Dean Hamiti from Wisconsin Badgers. How you doing today, bro?
Doing great. How are you doing?
Good, big man, good. I appreciate you taking this time and especially with the season getting ready to start and just being able to sit down and talk some wrestling with me, bro. So definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Man, we'll jump right into it, man. What led Dean? How did Dean first step on a mat? What led you to wrestling, bro?
So I first got into wrestling because I wanted to get better at football. So my dad was a coach of football when I was younger, and he was asking around the other coaches on our team. He was like, "So how are you guys getting your kids better for our games and our practices?" And he was like, "Put them into wrestling in the winter." And he threw me into wrestling in the winter, and after my first season, I quit football. And he was like, "So which one you want to do? Which one you want to do?" I was like, "I'm not going back to play football. That's it for me."
Fell in love with it right away, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
Now, was it something that took you some time, like, or did you kind of just like latch right on? Like, was it like, man, I got the heck beat out of me for the first couple of years, or was it,
yeah,
yeah?
yeah. I don't think I think I won like two matches in my first two seasons. I think or
And you
three
still
seasons.
fell in love with it like that? That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. So it took me a little bit to kind of get used to, wrestling style.
So what do you got a crazy style too? So how long did it take it for you to like really like how like year four, year five? It was just like, all right, I get it. I'm starting to get my feel, starting to get my own little style to it.
I'd say probably year four or five. It's when I started like actually competing every other weekend and
Really
going
hit.
going going across the country and like trying really hard to win state and nationals, stuff like that. So I'd say
Absolutely.
probably year 4 or 5 was when I kind of caught on to everything.
Well, I know. I mean, it definitely hit before your freshman year. I mean, you're three-time state champ. So I mean, and you should have been. I mean, you were heavily favored. So I mean, to be honest, like without COVID, you would have been a four-timer. So it'd be, in my opinion. But it. About, how do you feel about the high school career overall? I mean, I know that senior year losing that four state
Yeah.
title must have been a little heartbreaking coming out of Illinois like that. But
hmm
I think what there ain't very many people out of Illinois that's done it either.
No, I would have been 12, the
Yeah,
12th one. Yeah, I think it was 12 or 13.
yeah, because I think Davino's going for it this year, and he was like 14 or 15. So
Yeah.
it ain't. Yeah, you would have been right up in there with it. So
hmm
and it's no slouch. But I never I knew like that it was Juliet Catholic Academy, right?
Joliet Catholic Academy.
Joliet. Yeah. So I mean, is it predominantly a pretty strong school? Like, do they put out a lot of? I guess it's just a school that I ain't familiar with, but I don't
Yeah.
know how is
Um,
the.
so the first year of our program realistically was my freshman year. So our head coach went in, and then I went there. They were gonna make the program intramural before.
Wow.
So I think I was the first state champ in 60 years, 57 years. And then
Very
after that, we kind of got the ball rolling. And I think last year they took second, and the year before they won team state. So
awesome.
yeah, it's a
So
very big turnaround.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it seems like you played a big part in kind of rebuilding, restructuring the program type deal.
Yeah,
Like,
tried my best. Tried my best for
awesome.
sure.
That's pretty. Are you still 19? Are you 20 yet?
I'm 20. I'm 20.
Well, because I watched your episode of Clash of Combats, and those guys are killing it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, that's the whole goal, man. I hope I can compete with those guys one day because I love what they're doing. Just
Yeah, they're doing
Coach
a good job
Katie, yeah, I love it, man. And I seen where he started, so hopefully one day that we can be up there with them because
for
they
sure.
what they're doing is awesome for the sport, and I love it too much to walk away from it. But it was an awesome episode, and I remember like the first thing he said is like you were 19, and I was like. But
Yeah.
it makes sense though, because you kicked off as a true freshman. I mean, and
hmm
you honestly, bro, like I remember because I live in Ohio, so like I sitting there watching the Big Ten Network, watching anything that comes on, like wrestling wise, and you just you hit the ground running. I mean, your freshman year was just such like a who where did this where is this true
Yeah.
freshman right like and some of the biggest names too. It was such an awesome season. I mean, what you went 28-4 on the year, like, and you're in what's so incredible about what you're doing, in my opinion, and I think it's the deepest way. Like the top 12 guys at
For
165 could
sure.
all be national champions. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's
Like,
so tough.
yeah, and I mean, you got Carr, you got I mean, just Keegan. I mean, two-time
Yeah.
national champ. I mean, there's just national champs all through it. And
Hmm.
how do you get your mindset to prepare to like, man, all right, man, I got to get through Carr, I got to get through Cam Amin, I got to get
Yeah.
through Harchla, I got to get just all these huge names that are just
Hmm.
phenomenal wrestlers. Just how do you prepare for that, like that Big Ten schedule, or even outside of the Big Ten, just like because Carr's outside of it, but
Yeah.
how do you get your head right for that?
I think it's just finding the fun and everything, you know. I as a wrestler, I love to challenge myself as much as I can. So in practice, I'm trying to get the takedown in the last 5 seconds, the escape in the last 5 seconds. I want to do the toughest things that can be put in front of me. I want to achieve them too. So, I mean, for big matches, it's not too hard for me to lock in on them, just because I know that winning those matches is a step closer to my goals. So it's not too hard to really focus in and try my best for those matches.
Go
I
do you?
sometimes it's a little like if you're thinking like strategic wise, that's where it gets a little tough because you know you have to sit there, you watch film on the guy, and
Yeah,
that part's a little tough for me because I just like to go. I'm a goer. I'll go and wrestle
you are, but
for the whole
100
time and not think
100%.
about a single strategy during
I
it.
watched
So
a whole bunch of your matches, like whenever, because I was real pumped, man, and like you have no idea how much I appreciate this, just because like with me just getting started and everything, like to have someone at your caliber, and like I mean, just it's really appreciated, Dean. Like you have no
of
idea. So
course,
like I was like I'm gonna go through them, like I wanted to have my homework done, like which I try to do with everybody. Don't get me wrong, but like I when I really dug into it, and it was like. I mean, even when you go back to high school, dude, like 2019 Fargo, 2020 Super 32 champ. Yeah, I mean, three-time state champ. 2021, you get Dave Schultz High School Excellence Award from. I mean, and this ain't like nothing. Like, and actually, you have two younger brothers, right?
I do. Yep, yep.
They wrestling too, or
The middle one, he just wrestled in high school. He's done now. But the little one, yeah, he wrestles. He is a sophomore.
awesome. It's looking like same level, kind of trying to hit that D1 or
Yeah,
just
yeah. They started later, so I was the first one to kind of kick off the wrestling, and they didn't really like it at first, and they didn't like to get their butt whooped all the time like I did. So they they started later. So I think they both started in like seventh grade. So
um,
I had a 5 year jump on them. So they're
yeah, and
still kind
that
of
definitely.
they're working out their little styles still, and yeah. But my little brother's tough. He's a tough little gritty wrestler, and as soon as he
That's all.
figures out what he likes to do, I think he's gonna be really good.
And that's what makes you so unique, though, because you got this link to you. And eh, to be honest, like it it's why it's what makes you so dangerous. It's like, hey, you don't really want to go neutral. You definitely don't want to go underneath of him. And I don't know that I've watched, and like I tried watching your bottom, like, and it was like I don't know that like anybody like you might be one of the best, if not the best in the country at getting out. Like, and I was just like, where is the weakness in this dude's game? Like, usually I would like when you try to find it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But it's you're pretty tight in all areas, bro. And I'm not just saying that because like usually it's like, hey, all right, this guy's a hammer on top, but he could get a
yeah.
little bit. But it's Dean, bro, it's looking good. It's looking good. Like I feel like if you were at 157 or 74, it would be like this dude's winning national championships. He just happens to be in the nastiest. Like, and I, to be honest, like since my whole entire life, I've never seen what 165 is right now. Like,
Yeah,
ever.
it's tough. It's tough.
Oh,
One of the funniest things I've talked about it before. but Shane Griffith, when we
Yeah.
were at the when we were doing the Walk of Champions or Walk of All Americans, someone asked him, they're like, "Wow, this weight is really tough. You have three finalists, two national champions." Like, yeah, it sucks. It's terrible. Every week I have to wrestle someone that was either All American or national finalist.
And it's
But
the truth because it's just like, man, and that was coming from Stanford. He's in where he ended up switching transfer to Michigan, wasn't it?
he's Michigan. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, and I to be honest, like it's so deep. Like I mean, I forget about a national champion. Like you know what I mean? It's just it's loaded with it. And
Yeah.
to be honest, and like for you, you got 2 years. That I mean, obviously that's the goal. I mean, you want to get that national championship. You want to
Yeah. Of
knock
course.
Keegan off. You want to absolutely. So. uh, What adjustments do you feel? Because I mean, you're a two-time All-American. You came in, rocked everybody, blew everybody's socks away, like knocking off just phenomenal wrestlers. Going 28-4 as a true freshman, rookie, freshman of the year, and you take third at the Big Tens, which as a true freshman, like in that weight class, that's crazy. And then you take sixth at nationals, and
Yep.
then repeat sixth again this past season. To get over that
Hmm.
hump, like not saying all Americans, I don't want to say it's a hump, but I know for your goals, like what you want to do,
Yeah.
what do you feel like gets you from sixth to the top of that podium? Like what do you think you got to do differently?
I think one thing for sure is that strategy I talked about. I
Yeah,
kind of never really focused on it. I kind of just wing it off the top of my head. I'm like, whatever, I'll just go wrestle. But I learned in
definitely how
my
you wrestle.
first, I learned, yeah, yeah. I learned in
I
my
love it though.
first, learned in my first 2 years that with like the top five, I'm gonna have to really break them down and strategize where I'm going. Then another thing, just staying solid. Sometimes I roll around, I scramble around, and I get in trouble. But just staying solid and really picking and choosing my attacks, I think, is two big areas that can push me
Your
above
match
where I'm
with
at.
Keegan, how I mean overall, I mean I didn't I thought like after and I watched it twice, but like
Yeah,
well, how do you feel about it? Like when you walked off the mat, like I mean obviously you know
I
what
so the first 5 seconds of the match, I like snapped my ankle.
oh really?
Yeah, I sprained it really bad.
Well that so that kind of puts a little damper. It makes sense though. Like I didn't
Yeah,
know it was to that extent. Like you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like I didn't
because I
know how
sprawl, I sprawl with my laces down,
yeah.
and he went to go hit his hip and
Ooh.
like pull my foot down, and since my laces were down, my heel just touched the mat, and it was like right away. He stopped for a second, kind of like asked if I was okay, but
Yeah, not to
getting up off a national champ with a sprained ankle is a little tough. But
100%, 100%.
yeah,
And he is, but like when I look at everybody, because like from just everybody that we just talked about, like you have such a funky style and this length, and that I feel like you could really give him a lot of trouble with the way
yeah,
that he like just your two styles and like mesh together. I feel like you like I on it. Well, I mean, you don't get sixth in that and not be able to like I said, if you all American in that weight class, then I feel like all right, yo, you can be a national champion.
yeah,
Everybody
yeah,
in front of you is insane.
for
So
sure.
and to be honest, bro, I'm rooting for you because like I've became such a huge fan. Honestly,
Thank you.
just really watching you wrestle, I was already like, man, this like just a different style, and you are go like and
Hmm.
that's what I love. That honestly, it's my favorite part about your wrestling. Like you do some amazing things, and but like it is you don't you. There's never a match where I've been like, man, this match is just come on. Like it's like no, he's
Yeah,
you're wide open, and that's after watching like 30 at the 30 28 matches a year here in the last couple of days, and I mean,
hmm,
and you've wrestled but your total overall record after 2 seasons is well 28. So you got dude, you've only had 10 losses. You're
yeah,
55-10.
hmm.
So I mean, something to be very proud of, especially with the weight class that you're digging in, man. That's for sure. But is there any like Olympic, like are you gonna any thought of like a red shirt or trying to go for Paris, anything like that?
Not really. I'm still like so young. I'm only 20. I'm gonna have probably 15 years when I'm done if I stay healthy, knock on wood. But
Absolutely.
I think my main goal while I'm here is to win a national title, and I think locking in on that is one way that I can make improvements way faster.
I like
So
that though. And like you said, you are young. Like heck, I mean, you can get out and still hit a U23. I mean, which you know
yeah,
what I mean. Like it's still at the end of the day, like yeah, I really I like it, and you're locked in. And do you prefer like you got a folk style freestyle? Is there, do you have a preference of the two, or just
uh,
hey, it's wrestling?
I think just for now, folk style, because that's what I've
That's
been
what you're doing.
training for.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I like freestyle a lot too. It works well with my style.
100%. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
watched you at Fargo, and honestly, like I didn't know that you were. I mean, a lot of times it does translate, but not for everybody. Like I've seen people that are amazing at folk style get over to the freestyle world, and it's like, yo, what happened?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
but then I watched you in at Fargo, like the year that you won it, and I was like, oh shit, he can this man can wrestle freestyle too. Like it
yeah,
ran,
yeah.
and but it does it makes sense with like the way that you're wide open and that you go and like honestly, like I feel like you have nice guts, good laces, like everything was like, man, where is his weak spot? Like how did these guys find it? And like your scrambling ability, like you're just sticky and you got this gritty little it's just it makes for I like I said, like over the last 3 days, like not only for you giving me the opportunity to sit down and talk with you, but just absolutely watching these, I walked away like, yeah. If this dude is halfway decent, I'm literally his second biggest fan outside of his family. Like absolute
Thank
dog
you. I
though, man.
appreciate that. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
man. I mean, you've done some really great things. So another thing though, like all right, so you go do all these amazing things in high school. You like I said, Fargo, Super 32, three-time state champ, all these great things. You're going and you're getting recruited. All right. What led you to Wisconsin? What made you want to be a bat?
Just the team community and the energy that our coaches bring to everything that they do. So I've always been a very high energy type of guy, like coaching style wise. Even from when I was younger, my coach was always on me. They're always jumping around and going crazy when I wrestled. So I like that same type of energy. I've had it forever. I can't remember
Yeah,
someone
so it's
being
what
calm
you
with me.
know. Absolutely.
But
Yeah,
but like when you got a guy like Reader in your corner going nuts every single match, it's
I
something
love it.
that really gives you more energy to wrestle, and I think that's one of the reasons I can keep my style up. Just
Absolutely. Reader's literally one of my favorite coaches. Like just that I've because of that though, because every time you watch a Wisconsin, like he is everywhere, and like
yeah,
and I'm a big Brands fan because of it too, because like Tom and Terry are freaking out all the time, and it just is another reason for you to it just gets you more into it too as a fan watching it.
yeah,
It's like, oh
for
man, like
sure.
so reader is and Bono's always he's
Yeah,
this guy. He's this guy.
yeah.
Like every time you look at him. So you
You get
definitely
a
get you
takedown, he jumps and he's running around. Yeah,
it
it's awesome.
is. I could only imagine, man. And they definitely are you guys are building something. What'd you guys end up with? Four All Americans last year? Total
Two,
four.
two.
Like two?
Me and Trent. Yeah.
Hilger. So it was the
And
year
then
before it was
the
four.
year before was three, me, Eric, and Gomez.
Ah, that's right. Austin didn't last year. But that injury, like Austin wasn't Austin at the NCAA.
No.
Like, no, he and you could tell, like Austin's he should have been right there in the finals with Sasso or whoever the case may have been at the time. But like
Yeah.
it, yeah, it was a bummer because he, yeah, because he was fun to watch too, and uh, yeah, I hated to see it because it's a wrap for him, right? He don't got
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, he's done.
yeah, it sucks to go out like that, but he was fun, man. He definitely gave it that deal, and even the heart that he had to come back and wrestle with the NCAA's with like with the way he did, and it, you gotta love the man. So
Yeah,
like,
for
and I
sure.
feel like that they're that's probably my favorite thing about Wisconsin is you can tell all you guys have this. this heart, this grind, this just grit to you that like is wide open, all heart, don't quit, and
Yeah,
they, I don't know if they
for
pound
sure.
that into you, but you guys
For
definitely have.
sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You can definitely tell. So, well, I mean, so that's what's up though. Like because I was curious about your freestyle deal. Like I
Hmm.
definitely was thinking like, hey, is he gonna take the red shirt since you haven't? But like, you're just gonna hit these 4 seasons, rock, and just try to win these next two
That's the
seasons,
plan
bring it
right
home.
now. Yeah, that's the
Like
plan right now.
weights just staying at 65 for all four.
Yeah. Uh, for the most part, it was pretty easy for me to make last season. So
Good, bro.
yeah, it's pretty easy for me to get down.
Yeah, and honestly, I'd hate to see you leave it because it, it's just it's such a like people are going to talk about this in 10 years from now. Like
Yeah.
what like this will be a weight class that like you can't find. I've never seen it. Like I've just the depth that's within it. Like I know I
Yeah.
keep talking like harping on it, but it is crazy. So like you literally gotta be super proud. I mean, like for placing six, and then you come back and win the Big Ten championship last year, man. Like that had to be as a sophomore, a true sophomore coming in. How was that for you? Ended up bringing home a Big Ten championship.
That's always been a big dream of mine because I remember in Illinois, our state is like the week or two before national, so I think it falls right on Big Tens is like the week before regionals.
Yeah.
So everyone watches it, and it was always just such a fun tournament to watch. And being there is even better. And being there and wrestling and competing against the toughest teams in the nation is always going to be super fun. But
Oh, for
I think in my interview when he was like, "How does it feel?" I was like, "Dude, I don't know. I can't even really describe it."
yeah.
It was like
Fact.
that's how I still feel about it. I mean, obviously,
It
it's on to the next one now, but
yeah, but it
it would
still
always
is
be a
like that's
good feeling.
absolutely. I mean, especially with yeah, 100%, man. It's such it because the Big Tens. I mean, it dominates, and it's just
Yeah,
for you to be able to do what you did at a weight that you did it at. It should be, man. That is something that you should be very, very proud of. But
yeah.
with your style, how do you feel about this 3 point takedown, bro? Like you feeling it or
I think
you?
yeah, I like it more. I like it more just
Yeah,
because what
me
is it?
too.
Seven takedowns is the tech now.
Yeah, and that's what I feel like.
That's pretty.
My yeah, because I watch like people get a whole bunch of takedowns and then you kick them and you get 5 takedowns and it's
Yeah, ten
you're up
five.
10-5. Like,
Yeah,
but meanwhile you just smoked the dude for the first 3 minutes. Like
yeah,
so 15-5 makes a little bit more sense. So
yeah,
he's 1 feet to back move away and
yeah.
it's
You're 7 points
yeah,
ahead, feet to back.
right. So I
Better than
definitely am
that.
a right. And so I definitely I thought it was a good move on their end. I know when they were trying to switch up the whole riding time and doing away with it unless you got a turn. How'd you feel about that?
Oh, I didn't like that one.
No,
No,
me either.
no.
Me either.
Because if I'm
Be-
gonna try so hard to keep you down, like I should be able to get a point from it.
Absolutely, and that's the way I said it. And I've been saying it on a couple of these, man. It's like it's literally like somebody saying like, "Hey, 8 seconds ain't long enough to ride a bull.
Yeah,
You got to get off and drop kick him in the head too."
yeah. You tried your
Like,
best. You got to tackle him down instead of holding it.
yeah.
Like
It just don't make sense to me. So I'm glad that
no.
that didn't go through. But I was definitely curious because, like, with your style, because a lot of guys, like, I feel like, because you're nice on you're good on top too. So it's like, would he have minded it? Because you turn people. I mean, you pinned your fastest pin was against Carlson, I believe, in 1 minute and 11 seconds, which
Yeah.
it's just
I
unreal.
mean,
So like,
just turning the top guys is a lot harder.
once you
Just
get
like
to
getting through like when you have a ranked match and they know what you're doing now and they kind of if they know you're good at a crossface say they're gonna ball up and be like this the whole time.
yeah.
Then it's a lot harder. But if you can get the riding point, then it makes them move.
Yeah, now you're
If you
getting
like
down to
threaten
it.
them, if you threaten them like, oh, if you stay down there, you're gonna get hit with a stalling and a riding point. So they're like, well, now I'm already down 2-0 if I'm staying down there.
Do you think this 3 point takedown takes away from that riding point a little bit, like to where it like kind of is like it don't
No,
mean as much as it used to?
uh, I don't think it takes away from it because then you need to get two takedowns
Right, right.
if you get a way to win. So I mean, it's still kind of the same, I guess, in that remark, but no one wants to get rolled out. I
No,
mean,
not at
that's
all. But
my
I seen
mentality.
somebody say that like that because like that was their argument. Like because I've seen people hate it, like hate this 3 point takedown, and they're like
Yeah,
it just takes away from the riding time. And I was kind of like, what do you? So like I kind of was like, what do you mean? Like I wasn't quite
yeah,
grasping it, but he was like because he was like now say you you get your point, you get your takedown, and then all right, so this guy's trying to ride you out, but like it just and he gets an escape and then he's on top next period. Well, now it's not tied up at the end of like you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like it's not 2-2 now. Like it's
yeah,
not. And I was just like, wow, bro, like we're pulling strings here. Like at the end of the day, like it's more or less like making more offense. And at the end of the
yeah. I
day,
think
like
it's
I
gonna
think that's
cause
what we
more
all want.
action.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's what we all
yeah.
who doesn't want. But
It
that
gives everyone a little more sense of urgency to score
yeah,
more points faster. So
absolutely. And especially
I'm
if you're
down
the
with it.
guy that gets ripped 5 times in the first period, it's like, oh man, I gotta go now because like I'm
Yeah,
not down by five, I'm down by 10 and I gotta go to work right now.
yeah,
So I liked it, but I think the only downside to it is like we've been screaming two for so many years,
yeah.
like you know what I mean?
Everyone's
Like
gonna be like, "Oh no,
no.
what are we doing?" Yeah,
That was that other than that, like I was excited about it. I was
yeah,
actually surprised by how many people weren't. But like every wrestler I've talked to, every single one of them were like it down.
yeah.
And I'm like, well,
They're
at the end of the
doing
day,
3 point at Super 32 now too.
are they? I seen
Yeah,
that they just ran
I
it
just saw
at
one.
what the heck was it?
Elite Eight, Elite Eight.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I watched it and I thought it worked out great. Like I was like
Yeah,
I didn't see nothing terrible with it. A lot of them boys came away and they loved the riding time because I
yeah.
talked to oh Ethan Burden from he's heading to Ohio State, but he's like ranked 17th in the country right now, and he was like, dude, this riding time stuff is awesome.
Yeah, it's
Like
awesome. It's so nice.
it is like you get up and especially for somebody like you because you walk away with them a lot too. Like because and what do you think like is like if you had to work on one thing like something that was like I mean outside of like what we was talking about earlier with like, hey, just focusing. But like, if you had top, bottom, neutral, like, what do you think out of those three? Like, man, I wish I could be a little better at this, or get stop doing this a little bit. Like, if you had to
I
touch
think
up an area.
top and neutral. So on my feet, I usually give up the first takedown. I don't know why. Against everyone.
I literally have that written down, bro, but I wasn't gonna say it. But
Yeah.
I,
Everyone. I give up the first takedown against everyone. Or they get to my leg and they have it up for like 3 minutes. And then I'm like, oh gosh. But that one and then on top I jump to cradle too much.
but I love but like you hit it a lot. Like
Yeah, but like when
I
I'm
feel
on
like
top
you
and
and
someone's
Sasso might
standing
be the
up,
best two cradlers in the country. But you do
he's
try to
really
hit
good.
it in some funky
Yeah,
places,
yeah.
bro. You do.
I'll
I'm
just
like, is
send
he
it. It
going
doesn't
for one
matter.
right now?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what makes you, bro. And like, I think that's
yeah,
what makes, because even like when you listen to announcers like talking like at the Big Ten, like all these matches, they're like, dude, this kid's just so fire to watch. Like he just throws the kitchen sink at him. Like,
yeah,
and that's literally a perfect example. Like I've heard that expression throughout wrestling my whole life. Is like, he throws the kitchen, and you're a kitchen sink type of guy, bro. Like
yeah.
to the
Just
full.
throw everything at you.
Yep, yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
But man, I definitely I didn't even want to take up this much of your time because I know hey it's your
Oh
day
no,
off.
you're
I
all
want you
good.
to enjoy it, man. So I appreciate you taking these
Of
30,
course,
bro. And
of
uh,
course.
I really hope that you get these national champs.
Yeah,
Go get them.
that's the
Like you,
plan. That's the
yeah.
plan.
Like I promise you, like out of I'm no reader, I'm no Bono, but like I know enough about it to know that like you have the talent to do it, man. And as humble of a kid as you are, as humble of a man as you are, like it just as a person, it makes me even want you to get it more, and I feel like you deserve it. So I
I
know we'll be
appreciate
rooting
that.
for you, bro, for sure. And
I appreciate that.
yeah, absolutely, man. I can definitely if I ever in my life came across, Mr. Dean or Mrs. Mary, like I would definitely tell them they did a heck of a job and raised a
Thank
good.
you.
So
Thank you.
definitely appreciate everything you taking this time again, bro, and stay
Yeah.
healthy.
Thank you
Have a
for
good
having me.
season. Ah, no problem, bro. Shoot. And after you win that national championship, we're gonna run it back.
Oh, of course, of course.
My man. All right, bro. Well, you have yourself a good night, bro. And like
Yeah,
I
you
said, stay
too.
healthy, and I'll be in touch, big guy.
Thank you.
Thank you, bro. Dean Hamiti, that was awesome. Yeah, that was awesome. Dean Hamiti. I mean, that to be honest, like I ain't felt that nervous for some reason since like my first or second show. Like I feel like my face was on fire for some reason. 20-year-old kid got me all shook, but it's just because like honestly, like it, he's got this nickname, the little kid, right? And it's just he ain't. He's a real tall, lanky dude, but I guess it stuck whenever they called him that out there. But at the end of the day, two-time All-American, Rookie of the Year, Big Ten champ, Fargo champ, Super 32 champ, Dave Schultz Award, three-time state champ. I mean, just and then I mean, you just watched it. I ain't got to speak on him. Like he just is phenomenal. And everybody knows him. You know what I mean? You've seen his matches. This kid just lets it fly. If you're watching this, you've seen Dean. Like, and it, it, he's so fun to watch, man. Because like he says, like he'll try to hit cradles. He'll try to do just stuff. He's got this funky style, and and it usually works. Like it's fun. It is, man. He makes wrestling fun, and he's such an offensive kid. Like you gotta love him. You do. And I mean, I've made it well known. I'm from Ohio. I've rep my Buckeyes, blah blah blah. But like, I'm telling you, at 165, I'm a huge fan of this cat. I really am. Like, I'm excited to watch him and Hefner go at it. Like, I think that's the two lengthy 165 pounders, and then you got just this 165 is insane. It's insane with Keegan, Carr, Amin, Hefner. I mean, the fact that he's as a true freshman, he comes in and places sixth, then he comes out and gets sixth again at nationals, and just when you look at the depth of this weight class, it's six is you're a dog, and so just absolutely and appreciate him taking this time, man. That was huge, and it meant more than I could ever repay him for. So I hope you all enjoyed it, man. So make sure to click that like button, subscribe, Beckley Wrestling. We're gonna keep coming at you with the best that we can do. But we do appreciate the love and everybody tuning in, man. So stay tapped in. We love y'all. Thanks.